All right. Hello, hello, good evening. Welcome to another live edition of the Carolina Panthers Talk podcast, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. We are your hosts for this evening. Myself, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, and joining me once again, representing the Bleeding Carolina Blue podcast, Mr. Carolina himself. What's up with your bro?
What's going on, Ken folk? Another day, another great day to be a Panther fan. Even though it was an L, the pain is over. The pain is over.
The pain indeed is over, and now the time has come to hopefully start and complete the healing
Mhm.
process.
That's a nice way to put it. That's a nice way to put it. I guess we can stop getting our hearts broke every Sunday by looking at this team and just hoping and lingering and just that mustard seed of faith for those who believe is that we hold into that mustard seed of faith every Sunday. We get our heart broke every Sunday.
This is true, too true.
Mhm.
But we close our 2021-2022 season dropping our seventh straight loss, finishing with a record of 5 and 12 after a bad loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by a final score of 41-17. We finish in the NFC South with a record of 2 and 4. So, Matt Rule, in his first 2 years as a head coach in the NFL, only has 10 wins. And if you want to get technical, this year was one loss worse than last year because we played an extra game. Whew.
He
Yeah.
don't got it. He does not. And that's the part that kills me though, Jay. Like I really have nothing against Matt Rule, but your track record says you're supposed to get better from year to year. He's not gotten better. And you're making personnel decisions. Well, they said yes. And Phil Sims, I think who's doing the game today, please stop talking about how great Jesus Christ. Like I couldn't stand it. Matt Rule and Sam Darnold, and it's like Jesus Christ. Dude.
Yeah,
Like, cut it.
I think it was him and Tony Romo.
Yeah, I was like, yo, stop patting Sam Darnold on the back. Again, it's not here to rag on Sam Darnold today, but our offensive line, it is what it is. We've seen quarterbacks perform better with worse. You have to, as a quarterback, have, like I said, Sam to me does not have the it factor. He
Hmm.
has the I'm he's in that. I will put him in the category of like a Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
He'll give you a wild play every now and then. He'll give you something like, wow, that looks kind of good. He'll give you a Carson Wentz vibe every blue moon. He'll throw a rocket pass and be like, whew. But then he'll give you that Ryan Leaf moment where you just, uh,
Yeah.
he'll
I
give you, he'll give you a Jimmy Clausen.
that's definitely accurate. I definitely would say that's very accurate. Oh, Mamba has chimed into the chat. What's up, Mamba? Thanks for joining us. He
What's up, Mamba?
he asks us, how do you guys feel about us looking at Bill O'Brien and Jay Gruden as our potential next offensive coordinator?
You want to go
Whew.
first, Jay?
Yeah, you actually you go first. Yeah, you go first.
What was Jay Gruden's record in the
S-
NFL?
So he wasn't well because the only thing I remember he was head coach for Washington,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he had a slightly above 500 record. Okay, so in his career in the NFL, 35, 50, and 1, so a .413 as a head coach.
And
Um,
what happened to Bill O'Brien? Let's just somebody refresh me. Why is Bill O'Brien out of here anymore?
So Bill O'Brien was the last
Excellent.
coach that they had with the Texans before he got let go. But I mean, as offensive coordinator, now
And you have to okay.
now
No, go
Bill
ahead. Go ahead.
now Bill O'Brien's head coaching record was 54 and 52.
Mhm. But whoa, okay, now we're gonna look at that. And I say that to set up this. What were their offensive teams ranked during their tenure? What kind of style did they play? So now, if we talk about bringing in Jake Gruden or Bill O'Brien, does their philosophy fit our personnel?
That's a good question. That's a really good question, and that's really something to strongly consider.
Mhm.
And I mean, because let's see, he was an assistant coach when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl in 2002. So,
Mhm.
and this is Jay Gruden, that is.
Mhm.
So he did get a chance to coach with his brother John Gruden, but I mean that was '02.
That's right there. That was 20 years ago. And let's and I hate to throw it out there, but let's be real. He got that job because of who his brother was.
Which that's
Not
fair.
not because of what it's like, and I know people gonna hate it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. That's like Leangelo Ball. Leangelo Ball is getting these looks because of who your brothers are,
Hmm.
not because of your mature talent. So Jay Gruden got that job because of who his brother was.
Hmm.
Now, with that being said, where had Jay Gruden been? Because I actually haven't kept up with you. Has he been some coach at a college, or what has he been doing? Because
They
isn't Bill O'Brien at Alabama?
yes. And
Okay.
the last big success that Jay Gruden had was he did lead the Washington team. I believe it was 2015. They did win the NFC East with a 9-7 record. That was really his last big success coaching in the NFL. But Bill O'Brien,
Class with his players.
he's the current offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach of University of Alabama. So, I mean, I would probably be more inclined to maybe Bill O'Brien, but you know who else I was thinking of?
Mhm.
I was thinking that who's that coach that's with the Rams? O'Donnell.
I know
Some
you're talking about, yeah, yeah. We was linked to him as well. I saw him in that article as well.
I was thinking possibly him. What's up, Rome's? Good to see you. I was
What's
I
up, Ron?
was I was thinking of him possibly. Me personally, I would love a Jim Caldwell.
I'll be all on board with Caldwell. And did you see the report though, that Matt Rule, depending on who he hires,
Hmm.
that will determine whether he comes back next year as his offensive coordinator. Who he hires as his OC.
True, true. Um, oh man, and that's one thing is really difficult to think about, being that it's pretty much confirmed we are getting Matt Rule next year. As messed up as that sounds.
And
Um,
you're 10 and what is it, 10 and 23 now? 10 and 20. You're
10 and
10 and
23.
20, you're 10 and 23 in 2 years.
Yeah, it's
And that's
not a
what
good look.
it's not. And then that's what I said, David Shepard, dude. We keep it said, and I was listening to Phil Sims talk, not to get off topic. I was listening to Phil Sims talk, and the people talking, they were like, well, he built up this wonderful defense. Now, yes, we've had injuries in our secondary.
Hmm.
Yes, we lost our first round pick in JC Horn.
Right.
We brought in Gilly Lake. CJ Henderson, eh, I'm not even gonna get on you. Keith Taylor, look, Justin Burns, Jeremy Chin. Jermaine Carter, our defense just we looked better. They said Matt Rule took an 18 rate defense and made it second. No, our defense looked good again because of those 3 games that we played early on. So it padded our stats a little bit. We were giving up buku yards. Like this is what the 5th or 6th game in a row we've given up at least 30 plus points.
Hmm. And and what's interesting, just to hop back on Bill O'Brien, he's
Mhm.
been he's been the 9-7 average type coach for the Texans, who have finished first in the NFC South multiple years. And that's kind of why I give him a slight edge over Jay
Mhm.
Gruden. Not to mention, one of the things, that they were saying was perhaps if we were to get him, maybe that might increase our chances of Deshaun Watson. But then again, we got to fix the O line. We have to fix the O line. And actually, uh, Mamba says Bill O'Brien is not a bad. It's not as bad as an offensive coordinator. It's just we have to make sure to not give him too many powers like Houston did by making him GM. That I do agree with.
Fact,
That I do
facts,
agree with. Yes,
big fact,
that
big
I do
facts.
agree with. But I
But you know
mean,
what? We know he's not going to get that here. We know he's not going to get that here because Matt Rule has all the power. Matt Rule has final say over everything.
yeah, exactly. So that's the big issue with that. But I mean, being that he's coached Deshaun Watson and he's had an overall good record, like I said, early in the season of 2020, they fired him after starting 0-4. So, so I mean, I would be okay with a Bill O'Brien, but
I'm not against it.
yeah,
I'm not against it. But for me, it's like you said, I feel there are better candidates out there, but if those are the three. Now, I know it's a long process. Those are not the only three coordinators we're going to talk to.
right, right.
So I'm not naive to the fact. So, but those are the first 3 names, of course, that are going to pop up. So for me, Matt Rule, you have to show um, in this off season that you are dedicated to fixing our offensive line.
Mm-hmm,
That if we are not going to bring in another quarterback,
mm-hmm.
and again, I want to see you let if well, we already know Sam's coming back. Well,
Right.
I know they might be able to trade him. Of course, the CMC rumor has now been leaked that we're going to be listening to offers. Okay. If you're going to do that, I don't know what team's going to take on that salary. I know I saw some article where they said the Miami Dolphins might want to trade for CMC.
It
I
was
don't know.
it was also Philly supposedly was mentioned as well, which is kind of weird, but
I don't know why I did, but like I said, if you're going to do that, they were saying something on lines of Chris McCaffrey has missed too many games for Carolina to demand a king's ransom for him in return.
ah,
He's missed way too many games, which I understand. But when Chris McCaffrey is healthy, he is a top 3 back in this league, hands down. Like that's not debatable.
agreed.
But these past few seasons, he has not been healthy. So, okay, Matt Rule, let's fix the offensive line because that's our biggest issue. Now we've solidified ourselves. I guess we have locked in the number 6 pick in next year's draft.
Yes, number 6.
Get an offensive lineman. Get one of these high prospect offensive linemen. Don't you dare look at a quarterback. Don't
Mhm.
you do it. Not in the first round. See what you can do is unless you're going to trade, which if you can trade, God, I pray they can trade Sam Darnold. Unless you can trade Sam, or if you can trade CMC to get back into this first round,
Mhm.
then you grab one of those quarterbacks that you can develop. But if not, fix your old line. Matter of fact, if you can get back to the first round, get another offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Fix the offensive line. Let Sam Darnold and Cam Newton battle it out in the offseason. Bring Cam back. Let them battle it out in the offseason.
Mhm.
We're not winning the Super Bowl next year. Let's just be real about it. We're not winning the Super Bowl next year.
Right.
But at least make our team competitive.
Yeah. And then when you think about it, we have a harder schedule next season. So
We do.
it's very necessary. We gotta get busy on really fixing this O line and just building up from that. Super Trebo has chimed in. Hey, what's up? So
What's up?
he says, "How's it going, guys? I got a serious question." Oh man, you're gonna love this. He says, "How in the blue hell do we have the number 2 ranked defense in the NFL? Am I missing something?" We have the number 2 ranked defense on paper, but it has not equaled their performance.
Not even close. That's why I said, Trey, and to be honest with you, bro, like I was telling Jay earlier, it looks like that because our stats were padded from the first few games. That's why it looks like that. We looked super good in those first couple games, which padded our stats. Now, I'm not going to take a lot away from the defense because the defense does play hard. Like those first games, I'll give them the first 10 or so games. The
Hmm.
defense was playing hard.
Right.
I give them the first 7 or 8. I won't give you 10. I give you 7 or 8. But if you look at it, the defense was on the field way more than the offense. That time of possession
Yep.
was outrageous. So as if you look at when the defense is on the field for a long period of time,
Yep.
they're going to start to wear down. Our defense was wearing down, so the stats were looking bad because Sam throwing another pick. Darnold kept turning the ball over. Our offense wasn't staying on the field. So now, like I said, I'm not going to say we have the worst defense in the world,
Hmm.
but if your offense keeps turning the ball over, your defense constantly on the field, you're constantly getting gas. And if you notice in those games, our defense have got their hands on their hips. Everybody's taking deep breaths because they're tired.
Hmm.
And when that happens, our run game got exposed.
Right.
Our run defense got exposed bad.
This is true.
Jermaine Carter, and I don't mean to keep ragging on dude. Jermaine Carter is not a starting middle linebacker for his team. You're not.
Mm-mm.
I'm watching him get cooked today on pass coverage and run coverage, and it's like you in wrong gap, wrong coverage. You're running into your own teammates. I'm like, bro,
Mm.
what are we doing here?
And
It looks bad.
and how in the world on two back-to-back plays you have Gronk that wide open, just coasting, just coasting?
No communication. There's no communication. There's no communication. And that's why I said I don't fully blame the defense again, because in the first half they were getting gas. And then again, of course, we're missing our three best corners
Yep.
in JC, Stefan, and DJ.
Hmm.
Now, DJ was getting picked on the past couple of weeks, but DJ is better than anything we had on the field today as far as the corner goes. Let's not kid ourselves.
Right.
He's better than anything we had on the field. JC Horn is our alpha dog corner in that locker room.
Oh yeah.
He is. And I pray to God we sign Gilly and he gets healthy because, you know what I'm saying, you stick those two. And like I said earlier, a few shows ago, either stick DJ at the slot, and we was missing our top four. Bouye wasn't there. I'm
Yeah.
tripping.
A-
Bouye wasn't there.
And we still have Bouye for another year.
We do. So we're missing our top four corners, y'all. So when you look at this game, you have to take it with a grain of salt. We're
Right.
missing, and we're missing Jeremy Chin. We're
Oh
missing our
yeah, Jeremy
five
Chin was
best
out.
people.
Yeah, sure
We're
was.
missing our five best people in the secondary, and we're playing with a bunch of young cats that don't have real NFL experience on the field. So
Right.
Tom Brady was carving them up. So that's why a lot of those coverages as well. That's why it looked like that.
Yeah. It was a lot of Hartsfield, a lot of Henderson, a lot of Taylor today in that
Mhm.
secondary for sure.
And you could tell it was young. You could tell it was young.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Mr. Gemini joining us in the chat. What's up, Mr. Gemini? Always good to see you.
What's up, bro?
He says not putting Cam in at the goal line is another reason why Matt Rule should be gone. SMH. Oh yeah, the fourth and inches sneak
Did
attempt.
you hear what? Did you? But did you hear? Did you hear the explanation Matt Rule gave? Oh, we have two quarterbacks that can run that. No, Matt Rule, you have one quarterback that can do that. One. Sam Darnold is not built to do that. And again, Cam Newton gets his one play. You get your one play and you do an RPO to hand the ball
Oh yeah, that's right. He did get the one play.
off.
But
I'm
yet you
just
couldn't
saying.
call him in on an obvious fourth and inches right at the. Which here's the funny thing: we didn't even have to get into the end zone because we this was on the 2 yard line. We could have gotten a fresh set of downs, and yet you have a 6'6",
250
250
50
pounder
pounds.
who is used to making these type of plays, whether up close or from the shotgun, and you don't put him in.
It goes back to the incompetency of this coach. He's just Matt Rule. Matt Rule knew he was safe. Like we're used to seeing Cam Newton do the Superman. We're used to seeing Cam do the Superman, and that's what I'm saying. Like when you're making decisions like this as a head coach, you're making stupid decisions like this. You're showing your favoritism towards Sam Darnold. And again, I'm not here to crucify Sam Darnold. It's just I don't see that it factor. I don't get that great feeling when Sam Darnold steps on the field.
That's
I
that's
get that.
like that's like somebody telling you, "I'll give you $1 million if you can write down the first letter of the alphabet."
Matt Rule will probably say it's T. He'll probably say it's S. He's like, wait, that's not, oh, that's not it. It's not Sam.
Oh man.
No, it's not Sam. I am. Matt Rule is comfortable. Let's just call a spade a spade. Matt Rule is comfortable because he was like, I know I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm gonna right the ship, and this is my show, so I'm gonna do what I want. And I'm gonna. It's like Matt Rule is hitching his train to Sam Darnold.
Yep.
He's just like, I have to make Sam Darnold great. I'm gonna put everything I can to make Sam Darnold great. No, we don't. Sam Darnold wasn't great for 3 years in New York. He's not been great for a year here. Sam Darnold is, and I'm keep saying this every week, Sam Darnold is who we thought he was. He's not a
Yep.
game manager. He's something below a game manager. And if this is what we're going to next year with, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, don't get your expectations up for a great year next year.
Right.
Just don't. Because we're gonna be picking in the top 10, if not top 5 again next year.
Yep. And we almost
It,
made the top 5 this year. Um Mamba says, I don't see us trading CMC. No reason for us to reach for a quarterback. A lot of them are going to fall second or third round, anyways. That's a good point. That is a good point because I don't expect, like, the only quarterbacks I could see possibly Matt Corral and Kenny
mhm.
Pickett in the first round, but probably Corral might fall way further down in the first round. Malik
Because of
could.
injury.
Yes,
Mhm.
and Malik could actually sneak into the second round. It
But
would
we don't
not.
and that,
It
but we don't have a
wouldn't.
second round pick.
Yeah, that's true, and that's another thing to keep in mind. Is that something that we're gonna try to fix and address? We have no second round. We have no third round picks. So, interesting this off season will be, as I put in Yoda terms. Um, Super Treybo says, you're right. Our running game is horrible. I guess which is why our defense ends up on the field all the time. I remember in 2015, our run game was so good and Panthers destroyed teams with time of possession. Facts.
If you can hold on to the ball and you can wear down that defense, it works in your defense's favor. The longer I'm on the field, the longer I'm managing that clock, it looks a lot better for my defense, who gets to sit back, drink water, and Gatorade and game plan for the next time on the field. But again, as everybody saw this year, our defense was on the field. I want y'all to add up the time that our defense was on the field and our offense was on the field. I can guarantee you our defense was on the field way more than our offense. I can
Oh,
guarantee
facts.
you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, let's look at the time of possession comparison. Here
And
we
so,
go. Okay, now my phone's acting up. 1 second. Time
no,
of
but Mhm.
Time of possession. Why you gotta be slow on me? Here we go. Time of possession. Oh, dude, it's wow. So Tampa Bay had a 24-minute 55 seconds. Carolina had it for 35 minutes and 5 seconds. We
Mm.
actually won the time of possession battle
We lost the game.
and yet still lost the game. That says something.
That just
And
says Tampa Bay did more with less.
exactly. And not only that, going back to that fourth and inches botch, you have somebody run the sneak that averages 2 turnovers a game, usually a fumble and a pick, or either 2 picks. Yeah, that. Not only that, I'll give you an even scarier stat. Courtesy, shout out to Panther Nation podcast for providing this stat. Do you know this entire season we have only scored a total of 35 points in the third quarter? This entire season.
I saw that. I saw some. They didn't put that stat up, but they put some up in the third quarter. Like we were one of the worst teams in the third quarter. So that means going into halftime, we don't make an adjustment coming out of half. We make no kind of adjustments. Nothing. We're gonna stick to what's not working.
And the crazy thing is, you think about that. Only 35 total points we scored in the third quarter this entire season. That's like an average of like what? Like just under a field goal?
And remember, for those first few games, those games when Sam was throwing pick after pick, we were looking like a field goal team until Cam came. We were looking like a field goal team. So again, everybody that wants to throw Cam under the bus, remember what the team looked like before Cam got here.
Yep.
Everybody was saying, damn, when's the last time we seen the end zone? Damn, when's the last time we scored a touchdown? Cam comes, we start scoring.
Not to mention all the Cam haters out there that want to crown Sam for, oh, Sam got us wins, Sam got us wins. Do remember that he finished this season with 12 interceptions and seven passing touchdowns. But we want to crown Sam Darnold because he helped us get 5 wins,
Ooh.
the same amount of wins that we got last season.
And last time I checked, that's still a negative. I mean, you know they're gonna throw in Jay. You know they're gonna throw in. He had the 5 rushing touchdowns too, so it evens out.
Oh man, just you
It
can't
doesn't
you
even.
can't make this stuff up. You can't make this
That's
stuff
you
up.
can't because it doesn't even out. Sam Darnold, like I said, is not even a game manager. Sam Darnold is the backup to the backup to his backup. Sam Darnold is the backup to the water boy. I don't know why
Yeah.
you're in the game. But like I said, Matt Rule is hitching his wagon for whatever reason to Sam Darnold. Unless, like you said, and I feel that that's something that could happen.
Hmm.
If we get Bill O'Brien, I can almost guarantee it. Deshaun Watson's coming right behind him. We're going to trade either Sam or CMC or Sam and CMC
Hmm.
to Houston because that should be enough capital to get Deshaun over here without giving up with 3 first-round draft picks. We're
Hmm.
giving you a we're giving you a bridge quarterback and we're giving you a star running back.
The only issue with that is mainly the dead cap hit, which it would be a little less next season, but
Mm-hmm.
that's really the only issue that stands out is the dead cap hit. But I mean, him and Bill O'Brien together, especially offensive coordinator, I mean,
Something special.
it could definitely happen. I mean, Carolina's back into the discussion as far as Deshaun Watson. So,
That's what I said. If you're not going to bring back Cam as to allow him to compete or be a be a backup,
mhm,
I would, even if we get Deshaun, I would still bring Cam Newton in as a backup. Or, it's just somebody that, Deshaun always has, Deshaun can say himself, he has high respect for Cam Newton. So even if you do bring in Deshaun, bringing Cam Newton as that big brother mentorship type role,
right. Oh yeah.
just let them have that dynamic. PJ Walker, we love you. Thank you for your services. The door's that way. Appreciate you. I mean, unless you want to bring him back as a third string practice squad type guy, somebody just take reps and just to be a body. But
Mhm.
besides that, PJ Walker, as much as we love to see you, somebody said it, and I think you said it as well. This ain't the XFL, bro.
Exactly.
You have not shown nothing in the time you've been here to merit you getting any kind of starting role or backup job
Mhm.
at all. Thank you, but no thank you.
Oh, but he's 2-0 as a starter.
With 2 touchdowns and 9 interceptions.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you so much for the reminder. That's
Yeah,
to all those. Remember. Yeah. So,
2 touchdown picks. So don't give me the 2-0. Nobody cares.
just
Nobody.
saying. Just saying. But looking at this game, I mean, like I said, Sam did a little something something. 29 of 42, 219 yards, two touchdowns, the one pick at the end. Got sacked twice. So I mean, we didn't suffer another 7 sack game,
So offense line wasn't putrid.
right?
We saw a boy. We saw our boy in the
Yes.
game.
We did get to see Deontay Brown in action, number 77, and he looked good. He actually looked good on those screens. Oh man, I was kind of fearful that he might have would end up getting a eligible man downfield, but thankfully he stayed with it and got in some good blocks, and I think he did well. I think he
I
did
think he
well.
did awesome. He got beat a few times on some plays, but again, he's still young,
Right.
so that's what happened. But for me, in my opinion, and I said y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, correct me if I'm wrong.
Hmm.
With him showing something today, that gives him something to build for in the offseason. So with that being said, we have a right tackle. Brady Christensen did well today. I think he gave up the 1 sack today.
Yeah, just
If
gave up the
I'm
1 sack.
1 sack, which is okay because the Tampa Bay has an elite defense. They have a
Uh-huh.
very good defense. So you have a left tackle in Christensen. You have a right or left guard in Deontay Brown.
Hmm.
So now we only have to fill, if we keep it like this, we only have 2 spots on that line to fill. And say we get the guy, we get either the Evan Neal from Alabama, we get, I can't even say his name, Ekwe from NC State,
Uh-huh. Equino,
or
right?
we get the other guy from Texas A&M. You
Charles
get one of
Charles
those.
Cross, or no? What
Okay.
what would you think about maybe us getting Tyler Lindenbaum, that center?
I would be okay with that. That because what that does is that leaves us with only 1 spot that we can actually fill through either free agency. I would like us to bring in a veteran from free agency to
Uh
slide
huh.
over that left guard, or move Pat F9 back to left guard. Like I
Yeah.
said, he didn't do bad at center, and I'll be honest with you, I liked him at center more than I do guard.
True. True. I agree.
So if we can get another guard,
Hmm.
or if Boyd Lindemeyer can slide over to guard, I
Right.
would like that front five right there and let them grow. Get Trent Scott out of there. Get the fake Michael Jordan out of there. Not
Yep.
MJ 23 on. Get the fake Michael Jordan up out of there. Get John Miller up out of there.
Yeah.
And let's Cam Irvin, you can be a backup. you're terrible. I'm glad you're terrible. But go with that five.
Uh-huh.
You have established right tackle. You have an established left tackle. Deontay Brown, you were a rookie this year. You take your lumps. You can grow in the offseason, lose some more weight, add some more muscle. You can be our right guard. At
Mm-hmm.
F line, you're great at the center spot. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
One spot to fill would be that left guard spot. Now, forget one of these high tackle draft picks. I'm with some of the other guys.
Uh-huh.
Slide Christensen into guard. Put one of these other top tackles or at that tackle spot who have a better reach, better footwork, and you have a solid offensive line with that. If only you only slide Christensen inside to the guard spot, if you get one of these elite tackles that are in the draft. If you don't, you leave Christensen out at left tackle. I'm just saying.
That
That's just
makes
my
sense. That definitely makes sense. And I have a feeling if we stick to that, by the time we get to the number 6 pick, like, because I'm pretty sure there's a chance Evan Neal could probably go before number 6. But if he's
yeah.
the only one that goes by the time we get to number 6, we got some variety. We got some options. Like, I think it really just comes down to which one. Like, I'm,
And make sure you get the right one. My I would say for me, Jay, I would say for me, if we can't get Evan Neal, because Evan Neal is everybody's favorite
right.
tackle. He's head and shoulders above everybody else.
Yep.
But if we can't get him, I would say the NC State tackle or the guy out of Texas A&M. Those would be my next two. It shouldn't take us that long to run up to the table and say, "Hey, here's a card. We want one of these guys," because Matt Rule, the same way you was defense your first draft. We
Uh-huh.
need offensive line, because no matter what quarterback we bring in here, if we can't protect them, it's not going to matter.
Exactly. And it's actually you make a good point because both Kenyon Green, the guy from Texas A&M, and Ikem
Mm-hmm.
Ikwanu from NC State are both versatile in playing both the tackle and the guard positions. So,
Just like Brady Christensen can play tackle and guard. So get yourself some versatility on that offensive line.
true. Although word is Charles Cross has been pretty high up on there for Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
Get who's ever going to make this offensive line better.
right.
I don't
Absolutely.
care who it
Mhm.
is. Get some beef on that line and protect who's ever the quarterback's going to be. If it's not going to be Cam, it would break my heart. But if it's not going to be Cam, if it's going to be Sam, Pam, Dan, ma'am, thank you, ma'am, whoever's going to be back there,
Right.
give that quarterback the time to throw the ball and find these receivers and these tight ends. Let's give our running backs lanes to run the ball through.
Right.
Chuba, let's get off topic. Not to get off topic. Chuba Hubbard looked good today.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Chuba looked good. Amir looked good today.
Yep. Both very active, especially Amir in the receiving game. But Chuba looked good in the run, and he actually, he
Mm-hmm.
got a receiving touchdown. So
So I
indeed,
think that's why, and that's another reason why. See, not having CMC as open this team's eyes, say we don't need to overpay for a running back that is not built. And I said no disrespect to Chris McCaffrey, again, one of my
hmm
favorite players.
indeed,
He's not built to carry an Adrian Peterson, Derrick Henry type load.
right,
He's not built like that. Again, said no disrespect to him. He's not that kind of running back. Those backs were far and few in between. He's more Christian McCaffrey reminds more of work done.
yeah. I was thinking work done, Darren Sproles type of
Mm-hmm.
player.
That's who he reminds me of. Guys that you don't feed the ball to that many times because their body's not built to do that. Derrick Henry is a freak of nature. That's why he could take that pounding and keep on going. But even with that, you saw his body wore down this year.
Yeah,
He got
indeed.
that injury. Because like I said a while ago, Greg, as a running back, and I said I played running back in my younger days as well. They always taught us as a running back, your body's only meant to take so many hits.
Right.
And after so many hits, your body starts to wear down. And if you're not one of these Derrick Henrys, you're not a Christian. I'm gonna go back in the day. If you're not a Christian Okoye, if you're
Ooh,
not,
okay.
you're not. If you're not, if you're not a Bo Jackson, if you're not an Eddie George, if
Uh-huh.
you're not
Thurman Thomas?
Thurman, you're not a Thurman Thomas. If your body's not built to do that, you're gonna wear. If you're not a Walter Payton, if
Walter
you're not
Payton.
a Jim Brown, these guys' body. If you're not a Jim Riggins,
Uh-huh.
Tom Rathman, Mike Allstott, these guys' bodies were built to take that.
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey's body's not built to do that. But like I said, we're treating Christian like we did Cam. We're
Yeah.
gonna run him into the ground, and then when we're done with you, we're gonna say, "There's the door. See you later." And I hate to have to do that to Christian because
Yeah.
he's been great for the franchise.
And I don't think Coach Rule is smart enough to put him in at the slot.
He should.
Yeah, but it's Coach Rule. Um, Mr. Gemini says, oh, he's got a couple of things. How about that throw and catch for a touchdown to Robbie Anderson, though? Great throw and placement catch. Facts. Sam Darnold has flashes, but then goes back to his old ways. Facts. And can we get another punt returner? LOL. Oh yeah, Alex Fair Catch Erickson.
Didn't I say that? Didn't I say that? I said if he fair catch one more time, why are you back there?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing? This is not your job. We don't pay you to do this. I want to see you actually run the ball. And I tell you about that Sam Darnold. I said, look, that was either a nice play, nice throw, or it
Hmm.
was a lucky throw. I'm going to go with a little bit of both
Not to
because
mention Robbie was held too on that
he
play
was.
and still made the
That's great
catch.
concentration. Great concentration on Robbie's part as well. Because if you look at it, the defender's arm was right, like literally right there. Somehow it just snuck right in there, and he was able to catch it. So lucky throw, hell of a throw. Either way, that was good. And it's to your point. Then Sam Darnold reversed back to who Sam Darnold is. He
Right.
just it's inevitable. Like like Thanos said, I'm inevitable. Sam Darnold's inevitable.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. Desmond Davis. Hey, welcome to the chat, Desmond Davis. He says it starts with Matt Rule.
Mhm.
Yeah, true. Very, very true.
Exactly.
Mamba also says right now Sam Darnold's ceiling is Kirk Cousins, and that's being nice. Ooh, you like that? You like that?
You like that? I wouldn't even give Dirty Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins actually is. I like Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk Cousins. Like I said, I see Sam Darnold more as a Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I, I see him as Baker Mayfield. Is somebody that he'll give you wild plays. He'll show a
Hmm.
little grit. He might scramble. He might do something. But Sam Darnold does not have the it factor that a Aaron Rodgers has, that a Tom Brady at 44, 45 has,
Hmm.
that a Kyler Murray would have, that a Russell Wilson would have in his prime, a Josh Allen, what's the guy, Herbert down the chart.
Oh yeah.
Justin Herbert has an it factor about it.
Yep.
Sam Darnold does not have an it factor. He has an it factor.
Pretty much.
It's like every time he throws the ball, you go, God, don't do that. Why did you do that? I don't get, like I said, I don't get wowed when I see Sam Darnold. When
No.
when your offense comes onto the field, as a fan base, you should get excited
Yeah.
because you should know if it comes down to a final possession, I want to have faith. I want to have that Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers faith. I want to have that Tom Brady, New England, Tampa Bay faith.
Yeah.
I want to have that Lamar Jackson when he was in an MVP season faith. Hell, I want to have the Cam Newton a few years ago, Faith, because I know damn well if Cam was in there late game, we had to win a drive. I was not moving
Hmm.
from that TV because I knew he was going to do something.
Oh yeah.
Sam Darnold doesn't give you that. He doesn't. He doesn't. And we're going to give him another offseason. We're going to give Matt Rule another offseason. And I said, mark my words, if we go through another full season with Sam Darnold, we're going to be picking top 5, top 10 again next year. We just are,
Yikes.
because it's mediocrity.
Yeah.
It's like we as Panther fans, we were spoiled. We were spoiled. We were spoiled with Ron Rivera and Cam Newton for a while,
Oh yeah.
and that defense that we had. We were spoiled with Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis and those boys for a while. We were spoiled. So now we're looking at mediocrity, and we'll just say, hey, just put something on the field that's better than Sam Darnold. Anything on the field that's better than this garbage that we keep looking at Sunday after Sunday.
Agreed. Definitely agree. Desmond Davis says it starts with Matt Rule. The whole team looks like Baylor University. Alabama even would beat the heck out of us right now. Carolina Panthers have never looked this bad.
We haven't. Like I said, I've never been. I said it last week, though, Jay. I've never been so like disgusted and embarrassed to be a fan. Like it's humiliating to look at this game and to see the lack of effort sometimes from this team, and to be out coached Sunday after Sunday after Sunday, and to sit back and to be like, damn, are we not going to adjust to what they're doing? Or we're just going to keep doing the same thing?
No
Do they feel like
adjustments.
do you feel like this is a Madden game where we can just hit the reset button and start the game over?
That's pretty much what it seems like.
You
Pretty
know,
much what it
are we
seems like.
are we going to turn off our console and just start the game over? Is that what you think we're going to do?
Quit the game, reload the save.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just well, you know what I'm saying? And I know I'm not the only one that does this. I know I was the only one that does this. Like when you was a kid and you was losing and you was playing the computer, what you would do is you would slide a controller over to the other team's side
Yep.
and start making them play bad.
Yep.
And then slide it back
Guilty.
over to your side.
I've been
Slide it back over
guilty.
to your side and start playing again. That's what I think Matt Rule and staff are doing. That's honestly what I feel like they're doing. They're like, oh look, we're just gonna, we're gonna wing it. We're gonna slide the control real quick. Maybe they'll start playing like we're playing, and then we can get back into the game. But that's not how you do it. And actually, Jeff Nixon, I give you kudos today. You did not call a bad game today.
Hmm.
You didn't call a bad game today. I was actually surprised. You got some trick plays in there. We got some good run plays in there. You showed some screen plays in there first, and then you just
Yeah, just not being able to convert those fourth downs really hurt us. That really hurt us. Hey, Nathan Johns joined in.
Mhm.
Uh, he says a couple of things. Says one, oh, and Jay Gruden and Bill O'Brien getting interviewed for our offensive coordinator position. I hear hate both of them. Typical Rule and Tepper move. You don't like either of them, really? Why not?
I, I've seen a lot of people. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've seen a lot of people that don't like either one of
Um,
them. Neither one of them.
Nathan John, I wouldn't be opposed to Bill O'Brien. Jay Gruden, but Bill O'Brien, I mean, I don't know like how overall proficient he would be to the success of us on the offense, but I mean, he's done pretty well. I mean, offense coordinator with Alabama and even as head coach. I mean, you got to remember with the Texans, I mean, finished first in the AFC South a number of times, and they did make it to the AFC Championship. So I mean, I don't.
He's not the worst.
He's not the worst. And I can understand we could do better, but I wouldn't say Bill O'Brien is like low tier though. I can't say that he's low tier. Um, Nathan
Let's
John
be better than that.
Nathan John also says, nah, 2010 we were worse to watch than this year with Clausen at quarterback, but absolutely this is the most pathetic Panthers team I've ever seen. He's got a fair argument.
You've got an argument there. That is Jesus. That team was bad.
Yeah,
That
the
team-
the
but
rec
we knew what we would do. We knew like who was the owner? I can't. Mr. Richardson.
Yep.
They already had a discussion. Look, we're gonna suck this year. We already know we're gonna suck this year. So let's do it so we get the number one pick. So that was already made in the decision. That was already made. We're going to be bad. Let's be bad so we can get a top pick. Now that top pick again turned into Ron Rivera, was turned into Cam Newton.
Yeah.
So that was done for a purpose.
Hmm.
We're bad these past couple of years with no purpose.
Right. It's
There's
not
no
there.
direction. We were bad in 2010, and we got a new head coach, and we got a franchise quarterback.
Hmm.
We're bad these past couple of years. We're not getting a new head coach. We're not at a franchise quarterback.
Right.
So what are we being bad for? That's why I say this year was worse than that year. Because it is that year we knew what direction we were going.
That's a fair point. Hey, that's a good counter argument. I like that. I like that. That's a good counter argument. Um, Mamba says Bill O'Brien is not bad. Like I said, just don't give the guy too much power. But we could do better. Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with
Yeah,
that.
fair point.
Um, Nathan John says had Brady and Watson, big deal. I could make the offense look good with them too. Uh, that's not a guarantee. That's not a guarantee because remember they had the high-powered offense and Deshaun Watson finished one of the top 5 quarterbacks, but they still had a 4-12 record. Now, if you're now like offense specifically, sure, but at the end of the day, the whole objective is to get as many wins as possible en route to win a championship. And you
Mhm.
have to also realize, even with the struggles with their offensive line, after all, his whole career there in Houston, he's been sacked 174 times. Like, it can be done,
Mhm.
but that doesn't mean that that is the way to get it consistently done. If that makes any sense. Like,
Right.
yes, we went to a Super Bowl with Cam Newton and,
We
you
did.
know, a pretty, I'm not going to say craptacular offense. Definitely not a craptacular offense, but, could it have been better? Sure. But at the same time, Cam got sacked over 290 something times, but yet still made it to the Super Bowl. And of course, Russell Wilson, another example. So, yeah, it can still be done, but it's not going to be done consistently.
It's
It's,
it can't be done with long term sustainment. And
yeah,
that's not good for the health. It's not good for the health of your quarterback long term.
yeah. It's like it can be done that way, but that doesn't mean that it's meant to be done that way.
No. No, because and in the long run, that first round pick you invested in the quarterback, all that money you've invested in the quarterback, you're going to throw out the window because he's going to get banged up and he's going to get bruised up. Again, look at Russell Wilson's past couple of years, even this year alone, was banged up because the offensive line was hot garbage.
Yep, exactly. And oh, so Nathan John actually he is all for Kevin O'Connell from the Rams. So he said I'd rather have Kevin O'Connell from the Rams. He was mentioned also. I'm actually with Nathan John on that. I would be all for that. I would be for Kevin
Absolutely.
O'Connell.
Because the Rams offense is explosive and exciting. So absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm all for that.
I
And
think
that's it. But you got with that, you got to have the quarterback for that.
yeah, we'd have to see if he's capable of coaching up Sam Darnold, but it's a long shot. Um Super Trebo says, hard to believe we are already looking forward to April again. And again, it seems like the time is going by so fast. Last time Panthers made the playoffs, I think I was 33. I might be 39 or 40 when they make the playoffs. Let's hope we don't have to wait that long, bro.
Please don't, please don't. Because look, I'm trying to take my kids to a Super Bowl by the time they graduate high school. So please, and look, I would love to see the success of this team go, and even if Matt Rule is still here, like I said, if Matt Rule starts making better decisions, personnel wise,
Hmm.
coaching staff wise, like actually bringing in coaches with NFL experience, I'm all for it. But
Yeah.
the fact that you brought in your college guys with no NFL experience,
Hmm.
and we're seeing the rewards of those college guys being overwhelmed and outmatched and outcoached Sunday after Sunday. You need some, and again, I hate to say this, but some of them coaches need to go. Y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all need to go because we're not getting the results on the field that we should be getting.
Hmm.
Some got to go, or
Some
you got to go.
agreed. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's 2-2. That's what you get. Um, Mamba says he really likes Kevin O'Connell. Nathan John says the Rams still made Jared Goff look good. So I mean, which is true.
Cold hard facts.
Which
Cold
is
hard
true.
facts. He made him look awesome. Like I said, I would rather have Jared Goff than Sam Darnold.
Oh yeah. I mean, Jared Goff's played in a Super Bowl. So I mean, hey, those things add up now.
They do. I'd
And
rather have Jared Goff.
and the funny thing is, what's really sad? Denver,
Hmm.
after a 7-10 finish, they let go of their coach. We finished 5-12, and we still have Matt Rule.
How long was Vic Fangio there?
Uh, I think I think this was his one season. Somebody in the chat. I think that was one season.
So a team in Jacksonville fires his coach after 1 year. Grant, he did some stupid stuff off the field and in the locker room. Denver lets go of their coach, but Mr. Tepper, you came in saying you won't stand for mediocrity.
Uh-huh.
Yet these 2 seasons, we're looking at less than mediocrity.
Yep.
And you're going to stick with Matt Rule, who brought in statistically one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Statistically.
Okay, he had 2 years. 2 years with Denver. 2 years.
Okay. And his record was what?
Um. Correction. 3 years. Actually, 3 years. 2019 to 2021. Finished with a 19-30 record. 19-30. But yet we have a 10-23 record with Matt Rule, and he's still here.
He's still here. He's still here. He's still here, stinking up the joint. I've never been so, like I hate seeing him on the sideline, and that's sad. I literally hate seeing dudes stand on the sideline. I hate his facial expressions. I hate it. I can't stand it. Sometimes when they show me on the screen, I have to look away. I'm like, I just want to throw something at the TV. I hate looking at dude, and I hate feeling that way.
Yeah. Hey, at least you're being honest, and I feel you on that. Um, Mr. Gemini says, I really wonder what this off season is gonna be, and hopefully a busy one.
It better be somebody getting fired.
Shoot, because if there's no type of major changes, and if it doesn't add up, then it's gonna be on Scott Fitter and David Tepper.
Because you brought in dude. Well, excuse me. Scott Fitterer, you didn't bring in dude.
Hmm.
Mr. Tepper, you brought in dude.
Right.
Yes, you said, okay, this is my guy for the next 7 years. 2 of those years are gone.
Yep.
10 and 23. And Robbie Anderson, I like you, bro. I sometimes like you. 10 franchises, sir, have gone to the Super Bowl or was the playoffs in their second year. One of those franchises was under John Fox.
Hmm.
So it can be done. We just don't have the coach to do it. We didn't have the coach to do it because, again, like we
Right.
said, always said, talent wise, our defense looked real good on paper. We
Yeah.
looked outstanding on paper, but
Yeah.
game's not played on paper last time I checked.
Show haven't. Yeah, like I said, first half of the season definitely we were in there. We were hanging in there. But I
Mm-hmm.
really I really feel like maybe a little bit before or after that Washington game, I felt like the defense really was starting to get more and more exposed. Because I mean, the last complete team win that we had was of course Arizona, but
We thought we were bad. Cam even said it was bad. I'm back. And then we was like, I'm back. And then we left Arizona and we left whatever game that we had. We left our game in Arizona
yeah,
for whatever reason. We played
um
like that was our Super Bowl.
pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, it felt great. It felt like, hey, we may start a win streak from that point. That definitely didn't happen. Nathan John says Fangio took a Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock team to 8 wins, and we couldn't even do that. Um, I'd love to get Vic Fangio as defensive coordinator. He's a beast, but I think far more successful teams than us will be interested in hell go to one of them.
Facts.
So, yeah, Phil Snow, you're definitely not safe. I mean, you might survive to the next season, but I wouldn't say he's safe personally. But
No coach on this staff should feel like their job is secure. Nobody.
right.
From the head coach to the water boy. Nobody's job.
Super Trebo says, "Do y'all think Cam is coming back at least one more season?" I would like to see that. Do I think it's going to happen? Honestly, I don't. It would be good competition if he did, but I don't think, especially Coach Matt Rule, I don't think he would vouch for a Cam Newton return or re-signing.
And the crazy thing is, though, Jay, to answer that question, in my opinion, like you, would I love to see Cam back? Absolutely.
Hmm.
Do I think it's likely? If I had to put chances, I would say 2080.
2080.
2080, he comes back. Because I would love to see, and like a lot of people love to see Cam Newton get a full off season. I would love to see Cam get a full off season to learn the playbook, to whoever the new offensive coordinator is, give him an off season to learn the playbook. Give him an
Right.
off season. Give him an off season with the team. Give him a training camp with the team.
Right.
You cannot tell me, even at the age of he'll be 33 next year.
Hmm.
At the age of 33, Cam Newton is not better than Sam Darnold. You can't convince me with a full off season that he wouldn't be better than Sam. Our offense looked more dynamic when Cam was in there. We looked better. We looked better.
Oh yeah. And
And I would love to see it. Like I said, I'll give it 30-70.
30-70.
I'll
Okay.
give it 30-70.
So a little bit higher. Okay. Nathan John says, I like Snow, but we got too much talent on D for them to play like they have been playing these past 2 months. I'll say this about our defense. Definitely loaded potential for sure. And I know
Absolutely.
and I know some people out there are like, "Hey, don't, we can't call this Thieves Avenue and such." And thinking about it, it really doesn't compare because when you think about it, while this defense is loaded, what was Thieves Avenue most known for? Takeaways, takeaways, takeaways. And
We're not
we
taking nothing away.
we haven't really had much in the takeaway department
We're giving
since
away.
since Thieves Avenue. I mean, that's the thing. Like when we had, the Kurt Colemans, the Roman Harpers, the Charles Tillmans,
James Bradbury's,
James Bradbury's, Josh
the
Norman.
Captain Munderland.
Yeah, we were getting takeaways. We were getting picks. So,
I give again, and I'll keep saying that. I'll keep giving them this escape valve. No JC Horn. JC Horn would have helped our secondary out a lot.
oh yeah, oh for sure, for sure. He was an
Okay.
immediate impact.
He's a lockdown. Whoever the best receiver is, JC Horn would have locked him down. I'm a firm believer in dude. He would have got him. And like I said, and I pray to God we would sign Gilly. I
Yeah,
pray we would sign Gilly.
that will
Let
give
the man.
offenses something to think of
Mm,
before throwing in either direction.
that would make us Steve's Avenue. And then again, I hear, and I know they all hear, they're thinking about moving Jeremy Chin back to linebacker. So
I have mixed feelings about that because then who do we go to for safety? Because other than him, we were lacking at safety because Sean Chandler ain't it, and Burris was on a decline.
this is last year, I think. It was his last year, last contract year.
Okay, so yeah, that's something that we were gonna have to address in the secondary as well. Um, and like I said, I think we can still be strong in the cornerback position, even letting D-Jack walk
Oh, absolutely.
because
It should have. Mm,
like I said, you still have an off season to evolve Keith Taylor, to
mhm,
evolve C.J. Henderson.
mhm,
We still have Bouye for another year,
mhm.
and JC, he'll have tons of time even with this season to heal and recuperate. So I mean, I don't think our secondary will be too bad. It's just a few holes we got to plug in. Just a few.
Minor one.
Just a
Like you
few.
said, I'm with you. I would love to see Jeremy Chin stay at safety and move Frank Louvu to one of those linebacker spots because he showed great promise there. And that way, you only have to fill up that free safety spot. Fill up the free safety spot. Keep Jeremy Chin at strong safety.
Hmm.
Um, keep the corners the way they are. Shaq was good.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not even gonna say his name anymore. He knows who he is. I'm gonna call you JC, not Horn, but the other JC. Um,
JCJ.
you um no, we need another middle linebacker because it's not you. Um, like you said, minor hole that we can plug in, we can fill in, but JCJ, you're not that guy. You're not that guy. We need to find some. I don't care who it is. Why didn't we bring what's old boy that got released again that we was talking about? He got released from the Cowboys, and then he got released from the Packers. All it was it Smith? Was it Smith?
I think it was Alden Smith.
I was, why not? Why didn't we bring no Jalen? Joseph Jaden
Oh,
Jalen
Jay.
Smith.
Oh, gotcha.
Why didn't we bring him in? Bring him in all season.
That would
Somebody would
actually be interesting.
bring in JC Jason competition. But like, look, dude, your spot's not safe.
Hmm. Yeah, indeed.
Everybody should be on high alert. Put everybody on high alert. Nobody's job is safe. You got to fight for
Oh, Vietnam. Vietnam 26 has joined us. What's up, Vietnam?
it.
He says, I don't think that rule wants Cam. Look how he wouldn't let Cam play even after Sam's turnovers. Facts. Facts. And he always, I felt like he was waiting for Cam to make a mistake so he could just, well, back on the bench. I think he was waiting for him to make a mistake, personally. Um, Nathan John says Chen is better at linebacker, in my opinion. Made more plays around the LOS last year. True, which he should have been defensive rookie of the year. Um, Here's an interesting thing from Nathan John. He says I'd trade Shaq if we can to free up some cap room, move Chen and Luvu to outside linebacker, but would need a middle linebacker though. That's interesting.
Hmm. Very interesting. I wouldn't. I'm not ready to move off the Shaq Thompson wagon. That's just me. I'm not ready to get rid of Shaq.
Hmm.
I think he adds too much to this defense. He adds too much leadership. Um, Shaq is the one consistent at that linebacking core that I would actually say I trust.
Hmm. Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair. Um, Mr. Gemini says Frankie Luvu should have been playing middle linebacker instead of Carter.
Facts.
Does he have middle linebacker experience?
He played middle linebacker in college.
Oh, well, dang. Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, overall, a few positives from this game. Miles Hartsfield was all over the place, so I thought that was good. Deontay Brown did good when he came in, so it was good to see him get some work. And I know they mentioned that he dropped 20 pounds, so looks like he's been working on the weight and just the
Mhm.
conditioning and everything. And I saw him, just hitting each play full speed and getting to his blocks. So I mean, those were good signs. And of course, even in the receiving game, DJ Moore had a few drops, but he had some good catches. I hope he's okay.
Mhm.
I know he had the injury, which I don't know how serious it is, but hopefully, I mean, with it being the last game of the season, hopefully he'll be able to
Yeah.
bounce back in the offseason. Amir Abdullah, which he had 9 catches today, 9 catches, 56 yards. Robbie Anderson, 7 catches, 50 yards, the touchdown. DJ Moore, 7 catches, 87 yards. So good spread there. We saw a little bit of CJ Saunders, 2 catches, 11 yards, and of course Chuba had the touchdown grab. We ran the ball 26 times total. So,
Mhm.
I mean, we could still do better there, but not surprised being, just the trend that
But
we're
I
on.
can.
But Miles
Mhm.
Hartsfield led with 12 total tackles, 8 of them solo. So, he looked
He's a baller.
he looked great, and he got one of our sacks. He got one of our
He's a
sacks.
baller.
Or
I like
actually,
him.
he got the only sack. Now that I think about it, we only had one sack, and
That's bad.
yeah, he got that sack. So he
Two
also
Pro
got
Bowls
a
you get like that.
yeah, he also had a tackle for loss as well. But Miles Hartsfield definitely had a good game. on defense. I know we saw a lot of Sam Franklin back in the lineup. Had six total tackles, or actually six of them were solo. So he was looking good. C.J. Henderson got in on a handful of tackles as well. So I mean, if anything, just defense was out there quite a bit. I mean, we had a good opening drive on offense. Then we had the punt, we had the failed fourth down attempts. I think we were one of three. So yeah, we did have some good things going on the offense, and just defense. There was just a lot of areas where, I mean, I know personnel wise, we didn't have our best men out there, but it's just certain things like, of course, we couldn't really get consistent pressure. Secondly, we're playing off the ball way too much on these drives. We're playing way too far off the ball and missed tackles. Jermaine had a lot of missed tackles. So,
I mean, and the announcers, I give them credit for this. Phil Simms had a great point. They said Carolina's kind of trying to base what they did, not doing in New Orleans. But the difference between New Orleans corners and our corners that we had on the field is New Orleans actually has corners that can play man coverage.
mhm,
We don't have corners that can play consistent man coverage.
true. This is true. Um, Vietnam says Shaq is still not getting it done, but if we had to keep two, it would be Shaq and Luvu. Um,
Yeah, I can
that's
see that.
that's that's fair. That's fair. Nathan John says Shaq's good, but he's getting paid over $10 million. Our defense looks like it lacks a lot of leadership, wouldn't you say? So I wouldn't say Shaq is an excellent leader or anything. Um, he is growing into one. Could he be better? Of course, but I will
Absolutely.
say he has grown into one, which I feel like he's had to, but he's grown into one. Um, Vietnam says Deontay Brown played very well. He and Christensen will make good starters next year. Facts
Yes,
and facts. I
absolutely.
think
Let's bring back Crow. Mm-hmm.
I think we can build off of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Deontay Brown's been working on his weight. Showed us some good plays this game. I was just happy to see them use him. I was really happy
Yeah.
to see him being used. Um, let's see. Brian Burns and Hassan Reddick was nowhere to be found today. Ugh.
This how many sacks that they
Yeah.
had. This how many sacks that they had. This two Pro Bowlers, right? Two Pro Bowlers. You
Uh,
can't get one sack.
yeah. Um, Super Trebo says, you know what's sad? The Panthers used to have a winning record against Tom Brady when he was with the Patriots, even before Cam, but not anymore. Tampa Bay is 4-0 against us with Brady. We used to own Tampa. Times have changed. The times have changed greatly.
So it's coaching.
So is coaching. And looking at what the Bucks did, which Brady, 29 of 37, 326 yards, three touchdowns. Only sacked once, which was the Miles Hartsfield sack.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and of course, they didn't really need much from the running game. I mean, Miller had two carries, 43 yards, and a touchdown. He had the one reverse, which was a 33-yarder
For a touchdown.
for a touchdown. Vaughn had 10 carries, 29 yards, and a touchdown, a walk-in touchdown. So I mean, right there, three passing touchdowns and two rushing touchdowns just ate us up. And and Gronk, what the heck, Phil Snow, dude? 7 catches, only 7 catches, 137 yards. It's Gronk. It's Gronk. That is like that's like common sense that you keep an eye and you cover Gronk. 7 catches, 137 yards. Not to mention 2 back-to-back plays where he was free like a bird in the middle.
Bad coaching. Coaching. They're talking. Not putting players in position to be successful.
like, like I would even yell out, even if just the thought of Gronk going out on a route. Watch Gronk, 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 Gronk.
You
Somebody on
would think,
Gronk. It's
you know,
like I'm
guys,
sorry.
a
I'm
future
sorry.
Hall
Go
of
ahead.
Famer.
Yeah.
No, I said you think that future Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah. Easily. Easily.
So you might want to know where he is at on the field.
Um, Mike Evans cooked Keith Taylor. 6 catches, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. Not to mention,
Even
one of those Gronk catches was a 42-yarder.
Gronk is not known for his speed. That's all I'm gonna say. Gronk is not known for speed.
Oh man. Vietnam 26 says center and left guard are still questionable. Uh, left guard, yes. Center, I mean, with F line is kind of hit or miss, but he's been better at center than we were with Paradis at center.
Big facts. Big facts. That you
Uh,
can't deny.
yeah, which I still to this day don't even know how the heck Paradis even has a championship ring with the Broncos, but I don't know. Mr. Gemini says we need some heavy hitters on defense. Yeah,
Big fact.
heavy hitters and folks actually hitting their tackles and not whiffing.
And not hitting each other.
But Antoine Winfield Jr. and Nelson had the 2 sacks on Sam, and Adams had the interception, which I will say that interception was a little more on Robbie because he did not finish his route.
I saw that. He was supposed to cut across the field instead of going up the field. So I saw that.
Yeah, so that was the only thing with that. But I mean, like I said, if anything with this game, I saw was just evaluating our young guys and seeing oh Lord, we
Hmm.
were 2-6 on fourth downs. We went for it 6 times on fourth down. Wow. That's a lot for a game.
Last game of the season. Nobody was like, whatever, we ain't playing for nothing.
That is true too. We were also 4-14 on third downs. And actually Tampa Bay was 4 of 11 on third downs. So I mean, we kind of got them there, but then again, they had 21 total first downs. We only had 18. So, you know something? You know what's a
Hmm.
strange and crazy stat?
What's
There
up?
were there were only 3 total penalties all game. 2 on Tampa Bay, 1 on us. Can y'all believe that? Only 3 penalties called all game.
Hmm.
Wow.
Clean game. I like it. I like it. Keep it clean. Keep it moving.
I don't even think I remember the last time I saw a near clean game like that.
It's been a while. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a while.
That's
Maybe
actually impressive. Huh. That's actually pretty impressive. I can't hate on that. I can't hate on that. I just think it's crazy that we actually beat out Tampa Bay in time of possession with 35. minutes and 5 seconds to their 24 minutes and 55 seconds. I don't know how the heck that happened. Whew.
But again, they did more with less.
True. Vietnam says F Line got his lunch money taken on that 4th and goal. Oh, are you talking about the Sam Darnold QB sneak? Because
Mhm.
if that's the case, I'm sorry, but you put Cam into that situation, that's a touchdown. Not to mention we didn't even need the touchdown because it was on the 2 yard line. We could have gotten that inch and had a fresh set of downs.
Cam would have just Superman over top. Let's keep it real there. Good as Superman.
Or he could have bootlegged it and still would have gotten it.
How many times have we saw that? We talked about that. How many times we saw the little bootleg Cam just rolls out because everybody's, we going all out to stop the little inch yard. He just scoops out around the left hand side and is like, oh, does a little dance, touchdown. But again, that's called knowing your personnel. It's called smart coaching,
Yep.
which we didn't do.
And 9 times out of 10, he runs that bootleg, he gets in untouched. Hey, Coach Rule, if that's the one call that you wanted to make for Cam, why did you not make it with that? I
Because
mean,
he didn't want to give Cam the satisfaction of going out. If this was his last game, he didn't want to give him the satisfaction of having a touchdown.
pretty much.
He probably didn't want to see Cam do one of these one more time. I
But
mean, that's one I think of.
but had no problem bringing him in on one snap just to do a handoff.
That's what I say. It goes back to the ultimate disrespect, Jay. That's the ultimate disrespect you have for a Panther legend. That's just the ultimate disrespect. You can't. Nobody can convince me otherwise. That's disrespectful as hell.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Vietnam. Facts. Cam should have gotten the call. Why didn't Cam get the call? Yeah. Facts. He says, but F line is still a bum blitz. I'm sorry, but it's true. I mean, don't get me wrong. We could do better at center.
Yeah, we're not calling him a Hall of Famer. Just saying he's
Right.
better than your head.
But I would take him at center before putting him back at guard again. Because if anything, he got ate up at guard.
Yeah, at center, his weaknesses at center can at least be hidden by better guard play. He was better than what we were seeing from Paradis. Let's just be real about that. From what we were getting from Paradis, I would rather have Pat Eflin there
Yeah, because Paradis kept getting bull rushed easily.
all the time. Or his hand placement was bad. It was awful.
Yeah. Yeah, Vietnam says, yes, it was a slap in the face, about the Cam Newton bring in and handoff. Yeah,
Slap in the face. It's ultimate disrespect. Here, go out there for one play and then come back off the field. Make your face seen. It's like one of my parents used to tell me when we was kids. I want you to be seen and not heard. Like the
yeah,
adults are talking, be seen and not heard. He's like, Cam, the adults are playing. I want you to be seen and not heard. So I want you to RPO it. I want you to hand it off. And then I want you to come sit back down with the rest of the children.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, 4th and inches. Hey, my guy Sam can do it, right? Right? And then gonna sit there and throws the challenge flag. And we had one timeout left. Instantly lose the challenge. Like the ref wasn't even in the booth long. Play
At all.
stands, no timeouts for that first
With
half. I'm
with five
like,
minutes to go, still in the second quarter. So you got 5 minutes to go, no time.
but yet we're keeping them for another year. Please, somebody help me make sense of it.
You
Oh
can't,
Lord.
bro, you can't. You really can't. And like I said, it's we keep Matt Rule, we keep Sam Darnold. We're going to be having these discussions all next season. You can bookmark this video. We keep both of these two guys with the decision that he's making. We're going to be having a lot of these discussions next season. I'm
I,
just saying.
I mean, did he save David Tepper from like a burning building or something? Like,
He got
did
he
he
got some video on Chopper or something. He
did he
got
like pay off his house or something like that? Did he like what fund his children's college or something? Like something like
Matt Rule got something on David Tepper, or it's just he got some blackmail on him. He got to have something. But there's no reason he was still here. There's no reason.
Vietnam says Tecklenburg. Sam Tecklenburg might be a better option there. Didn't we played him for like what, one or two games?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how he did?
I don't remember having his name called, so that's a good thing.
I want to say he didn't do great, but he didn't do bad.
Yes, I remember hearing his name called a lot of times. I don't remember having his name called a lot of times. He was in the game, so I'm going to say he wasn't atrocious,
Hmm.
but he didn't show enough to be like, hey, that's our guy for the future at the center spot.
Facts. So it is official. Sixth pick in the first round. We have the sixth pick, which I believe. Wait, have the Jets played? Yeah,
Yeah, they were
yeah,
playing.
they lost. They lost. So yeah, we have secured the sixth pick
Woohoo!
in the first round. And like I said, we could do some things with that, but it makes me wonder. Like I said again, it makes me wonder. Like if we trade back, like how far would they consider trading back? Because I know was talking to 10 or maybe to no further than 10 or 12. See about trying to get some picks back, maybe another pick in the first, or get a second and third pick. So we have to see what we can do.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. Um, and it'd be interesting to see if we can trade either Sam or CMC. Because so if we can trade one of those two, which again, I know they say listening, if you're able to and you're able to trade back into the first round, because somebody's going to give you a first round. Somebody's definitely going to give you a first round pick for Chris McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Definitely going to give you a first round pick for him. So if we can do that without having to trade back, go offense, straight offensive line, and maybe draft a Malik Willis in the if you can get a late first round, early second round pick, draft him in the late first, early second. That way you have somebody to groom for the next year.
I see. Um, Vietnam said that Tecklenburg actually did pretty well. With starting reps at camp, he could be the answer. Could be another Tyler Larson. You know, Tyler Larson actually did pretty well as a backup center. So I mean, he could be another Tyler Larson. Um, Mr. Gemini poses a question. If we start the next season losing, then at what record should Matt Rule go? He says 1-4. If we start the season 1-4, then he should be fired. Ooh.
I say 0-1.
Uh, you know what? Even though I don't like the idea of him coming back, I'll give him 3 games. If he can win 2, then
I give him
then
5.
you'll give him 5. You'll give him 5.
I give him
Okay.
5. I give him 5.
Okay. That's
I give him
fair.
5.
Um, David Screws, what's up? Good to see you. He says picking 6 in the draft. Rule needs to go ASAP. I'm tired of watching this circus. You and us both. You and us
So
both.
we went from pick 8 last year to pick 6 this year. What are we gonna have pick 3 next year?
Shoot, probably with our schedule. I mean, let me pull the schedule up. I know the dates aren't set, but the teams are set. So there's two major things I want to hit in the last segments of this video. So the opponents for 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So our home games, of course, the usual Falcons, Bucks, Saints. At home, we got to play the Cardinals, a familiar
Mm-hmm.
face. We got to play the 49ers. We got to play
Mm-hmm.
this. We got to play the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
We got to play the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
We got to play the Lions,
Mm-hmm.
and we got to play the Broncos. Now, out of all of those games that are non-divisional games, Niners, Steelers, Browns, Broncos, our last meetings we've lost.
Wah, wah, wah.
So, I mean, you look at the Steelers, which I don't know if they clinched. I don't think they clinched the
No,
playoff.
Steelers are in unless the teams tie. So Steelers are in.
Ah, gotcha. Um, and then of course, Arizona's going to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Niners finished pretty strong. Cleveland, even though they didn't make the playoffs, they still had a decent season.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the Lions are really the only team on that side that I guess we'd have a
Look,
chance.
that played worse than us. But even then, the Lions showed more heart in the
Oh yeah,
loss. They were at least more competitive.
oh yeah, indeed. And then for the away games, of course, the
Mm-hmm.
usual three: Falcons, Bucks, Saints. We got to play the Rams, tough team. We got to play the Seahawks, which minus the record, still a tough team.
Yep.
We got to play the Ravens.
Mm.
We got to play the Bengals,
Mm.
and we got to play the Giants, who remember beat us this season.
Somehow, somewhere.
So we have to play the entire NFC West and the entire AFC North,
Hooray.
along with the NFC South. And we
And yeah,
lost and we lost to all of the NFC East this season.
and y'all think I'm joking when I say if we don't do something right this all season, bro, like I'm not even trying to be funny. If we don't do something right this all season, we're picking top 3 next year.
Dude, it wouldn't surprise me if we ended up with a 1. That's how nervous that schedule is making me.
Because of the coaching staff. Now, if we had a more adequate coaching staff, I wouldn't be. But with the coaching staff that we have right now, nah.
Cuz it's going to be so bad that teams are going to go into this with us on their schedule like,
Barbecue chicken alert. Barbecue chicken.
like if just on paper, just as of now,
Mhm.
looking at this list of opponents, we might be lucky and split with Atlanta again. Tampa Bay, doubt it.
New
Saints,
Orleans, maybe.
maybe. Cardinals, I mean, we've kind of had their number, but something tells me they're going to have our number next time.
But they're gonna
Uh,
come to Super Bowl.
yeah. Steelers, don't see it happening.
Mm,
Even with no Roethlisberger, I just them coached by Mike Tomlin. You just
what awesome coaches get you.
yeah,
Steelers look dead in the water. They look dead in the water. And nobody would have said a few weeks ago the Steelers are going to make the playoffs. But you see what coaching and coaching adjustments get you?
Yeah, facts. San Fran,
Still got
George
a great.
George Kittle cooked us last time we played them. Um, and Emmanuel Sanders. Now that I think about it,
Yep.
uh, the Browns. Last time we played the Browns, we lost.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Lions. Okay, I could see that. I mean, we did shut out the Lions last time, but like you said, they play with a lot of heart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they beat Green Bay.
They did.
So, um, Broncos, even with Drew Lock, we still lost to them. Um, the Rams, ugh, I don't know about that. Um,
It depends on which Ram team shows up.
yeah, the Ravens,
Depending on which Ravens offense shows up.
right. The Seahawks, uh,
Their defense is god awful.
yeah, that's the big problem with them. The Giants, I mean, you would think on paper would be a win, but they torched us this year, and we couldn't even score a touchdown against them.
But Sam Darnold is the answer, though.
And then the Bengals, which after the
You talking
year
about
Joe Burrow has had, shoot.
the Bengals have the offensive rookie of the year.
And
You see what happens. You see what happens when you get the quarterback right and you get him a number one target right.
yeah,
It looks real good.
and it's you could argue and say that he's put up MVP numbers.
He did. He
So
got everything right.
so to be honest with you, and I would love to get your take on this.
Mm-hmm.
As of now, because anything can change. As of now, I only see one, two, three, possibly four to another 5 wins.
If we, I'll put it this way, Jay. If we don't make changes in this off season, significant changes, I'm gonna keep saying it, bro. We're picking top five again. We're picking top five next year because there's with those games that you mentioned. If it comes down to crunch time, I do not, and I will say this with every breath in my body.
Mm-hmm.
I do not trust Sam Darnold to lead this team down the field to a win. I don't. I don't.
Now that I think, has he ever had a fourth quarter comeback or a game winning drive, even with the Jets?
Not with the record that he had, unless it was just one that slipped through the cracks.
Yeah, anybody in the chat can chime in on this. Has Sam Darnold ever led a fourth quarter or a game winning drive? Because I mean, maybe I missed something, but
I doubt it.
nothing's popping into my head.
It's not him. It's not him.
But David Screws says at the goal line, why not run Cam or the fullback instead? Sam Darnold, what a joke. Our O line needs help desperately. Also, facts.
Huge fact.
Vietnam's thinking top three sounds about right. We need it though. That's when you grab your quarterback.
Yep, and next year's class is actually better than this year's class. So
Yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what they're definitely saying. And then really the last thing that I have for this video, one more look at the complete list of free agents, and we can talk a little bit about who you feel we should keep. Um, I'm gonna name them off one by one, and
mhm.
we just we both either say keep or no keep. So
Got
yay,
it.
so yay or nay. All right,
Mhm.
Amir Abdullah,
Yay.
yay. Justin Burris,
Nay.
nay. Jermaine Carter Jr., nay.
Hell nay.
Why did I know that was coming? Um, um, punter, or excuse me, safety Sean Chandler.
Nay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say nay as well. I'm gonna say nay as well. Um, punter Lachlan Edwards.
Nay.
I'm gonna say nay as well. Alex Erickson. Nay.
Hell nay.
Um, Stephon Gilmore. Yay, yay.
Hell yay.
Kicker Zane Gonzalez. Yes, please.
Hell yay.
Uh, defensive end Marquise Haynes Sr.
Yay.
Yay. I think good in the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Dante Jackson. D-Jack.
Mild yay.
I love you. Thank you for your playmaking, but I'm gonna have to say a heartbreaking nay.
I can see that.
Long snapper J.J. Jansen.
Nay.
Nay. He's getting up there in age.
We drafted a long snapper for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, Thomas Fletcher. Yeah.
Thanks, Matt Rule. That was a wasted pick.
Uh, Daquan Jones. Ooh.
Yay. Veteran leadership.
I'm gonna have to. Ooh. I'm gonna have to say nay, and
Mhm.
it's a performance thing, and I hope I'm wrong, but it's based on performance. I have to say nay.
I can respect that.
Uh, Frankie Louvu. Yay.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He's earned that.
Yeah.
Uh, cornerback Rashawn Melvin.
Nay.
I know you're a veteran, but I'm gonna have to say nay.
No.
Guard John Miller.
I was about to say something. I was trying not to say something. Hell nay.
Nay, indeed. Quarterback Cam Newton.
Hell to the hell to the hell to the yay.
I will have to say, Matt Rule, swallow your pride and do it. Give him a full off season. Yay.
Yeah.
Center Matt Paradis.
Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Nay.
Nay, indeed. Hassan Reddick.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a must. A big, ginormous, Godzilla size yay.
Yeah.
Tackle Trent Scott.
Nay.
Nay. Linebacker Julian Stanford.
Special teams wise, yay.
Special teams plus a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with keeping him. I'm okay with keeping him. That's a yay. This is a tough one. Tight end Ian Thomas.
Yay. I didn't want to hesitate on that one. Yay. Because Ian showed me, even something when he's not catching, Ian Thomas will block his ass off. I'll give Ian Thomas that. He will block.
Hmm. And Nathan John had put up some good points about Ian Thomas in the previous video I did. But I'm going to also have to say yay, but it might be a one more chance sort of thing for Ian Thomas.
I can
So
see that.
so for now I'm going to take a chance and say yay.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Zylstra.
Slight yay.
He's done well with special teams and he's made some good grabs. I think having him in the rotation could do him some good and the offense some good when called on. Could
I
be
can see that.
could be the resident Brenton Burson, perhaps. So
Can see
I'm gonna say yay. And then we have so those are all unrestricted free agents. And then we have three exclusive rights free agents.
that.
Fullback Giovanni Ricci.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. Quarterback PJ Walker.
Nay.
While you may be 2-0 as a starter, your 2-8 isn't credible to that 2-0 start.
2-9.
2-9, I'm sorry, 2-9. I'm gonna have to say nay. But I hope you will be successful elsewhere. Just I don't think it's gonna happen here.
And the XFL starting up again.
Per-
Go back over there.
Perhaps he was undefeated until they had to shut down for the season. So hey. And then center Mike Panasweek, who's been on IR.
Never heard of you. Goodbye. Never heard of you. Nay. Sorry.
Yeah,
Don't know who you are.
I'll have to say nay as well. So I feel like overall we were definitely in an agreement with a lot of those players. So
Mm-hmm.
this is going to be a busy off season, but one thing we do know for sure is we are going to have Matt Rule, and it looks like we are going to have Sam Darnold. We know we have the sixth pick, first round. We do have we have total right now. We have a first, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. We do not have a second or a third pick. So we'll see.
Wah,
We'll
wah.
see what happens. But we got work to do.
It's gonna be a long off season, boys. Strap in. Well, I see Smith would always say ice up, son.
Ice up, son. Indeed. But that is how we finish this 2021-2022 season. A 41-17 loss to the Bucks, who will be going to the playoffs. five 5-12, 2-4 in the NFC South, and two back-to-back 5-win seasons under Coach Matt Rule.
Wah, wah, wah.
Well, final words, bro.
Keep pounding. Keeping it simple. Keep pounding.
I'll say keep pounding and just make the bleeding stop.
Please.
Please. We have a huge nation of Carolina Panther fans that have suffered enough.
Yeah.
Make the bleeding stop. Let the healing process start. Now,
Please. Please.
we all want to see a Super Bowl win before we die.
I would love it. I would love to see it. I'm not gonna say next year. It would be awesome because I'm getting married in September. So I would love to come back from my honeymoon and see that the Panthers are doing good. So just do something. Something. So when I come back and I'm say, hey Jay, I'm on my way back from my honeymoon. Please tell me we've won more than one game. That's all I want to say.
And, oh, David Screws says these painful years is unfair to this fan base. Facts. Facts. And you know what? I'm going to pose a challenge to myself, and you're going to be a witness.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Darnold, I don't know if you'll ever see this video, but I'm going to put you to the challenge since we seem to be keeping you that fifth-year option for next season. You threw for 7 passing touchdowns this year. Abysmal.
Terrible.
If you can get 15 or more passing touchdowns this next season, you know what? No.
20.
I was almost about to go 10.
20.
All right. If you can get 20 passing touchdowns some way, somehow next season,
Mm-hmm.
I will buy a Sam Darnold jersey. That is how confident I am that you can't do that.
I'll double you. I'll buy 2 of them, and I'll wear them all season. I'll not only buy them. Matter of fact, here's what. I'll make you this promise. If Sam Darnold is our starting quarterback next year, and our first 5 games we're above 500, I'm going to buy tickets for me, you, and one of our listeners to go to a game.
So, let me recap that.
Mm-hmm.
He has to, 1, be the official starting quarterback for next
Mm-hmm.
season.
Mm-hmm.
2, in 5 games, he has to be 500 or more.
Mm-hmm.
And what was there another one?
That's it.
That's it. Just those 2. First 5 games, he has to be the official starter.
Mm-hmm.
And the
About
first
500.
and the first 5 games he plays, starter and all,
Mm-hmm.
the record has to be 500 or more.
And okay, I'll put a stimulation. We'll put a challenge. You have to have more touchdown passes than interceptions.
Okay. That's 3.
So if he does all that, y'all listening, I'm gonna take my money, my dime, myself, Jay, and one of our fans want to raffle off a ticket. We're gonna go to a game, end zone, and we're gonna watch the game. If Sam Darnold can do those 3 things, if
I'll take that.
I'm
And
just
like I said, my challenge stands as well. If he can throw even if he ends up throwing more interceptions than touchdowns, if he can throw for 20 touchdown passes in a season, next season,
Mhm.
I will buy and wear a Sam Darnold jersey.
I wear the Sam Darnold jersey to the game.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. So y'all be sure to subscribe to both me and Mr. Carolina Bleeding Carolina Blue podcast. Subscribe to both of us so that
Like
you'll
shit.
be
Bro. Mhm.
on the lookout for this. And like I said, we're gonna be bringing forth content in the off season. We got the draft. We got other interesting topics that'll come up. So
Mhm.
keep an eye out. But yeah, this video definitely keep it archived. Keep it archived. Be sure to like it. Be sure to like it so that you can go back to it. But yeah, those are the two big ones. Mr. Carolina's challenge next season. Sam Darnold, official starting quarterback, number one. Number two, first 5 games has to be a record of 500 or more. And number three, he has to have more touchdowns than interceptions. So if those three objectives, all three, not 2 out of 3, not 1 out of 3, it has to be all three, as he said, a ticket for him, a ticket for me, a ticket for a lucky viewer to a Panthers game.
Somebody better get in Sam Darnold's ear because I'm trying to go to the game regardless.
Indeed. And like I said, for me, 20 or more passing touchdowns, 20 or more by the end of next season,
Mhm.
I will buy a Sam Darnold jersey. And of course, the earlier he achieves that, the earlier I buy the jersey. So, if he hits that number by midseason perhaps, I will buy that jersey. I will wear it for the rest of the season.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
You can. You have my word.
Hmm. I don't think he's gonna do it, but I'm gonna hold you to it.
Mr. Gemini says, "What about completion percentage too?" I, I'm a we're gonna be a little lenient. We're gonna be a little lenient. I think
I just,
I think this is a fair amount to ask. I think this is a fair amount to ask. We actually want to make it somewhat possible even for Sam Darnold because he really hasn't come anywhere close. So,
not even.
David Screws says, "Can it be me? Please let me go." It could be you.
It could be.
It could be you. But I would
It
highly
was me.
suggest, which I know you're subscribed to me, and you make sure you subscribe to Mr. Carolina, Bleeding Carolina Blue on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
But that'll be a wrap for this edition of Carolina Panthers Talk. Um, Thank y'all so much for coming through. Like I said, I know it's been a rough season, but we made it through. Keep pounding no matter what. And we'll see how this offseason and draft, free agency, all of the above, we'll see how it goes. But that'll wrap it up for this video. Mr. Carolina, where can all these lovely and awesome fans find you on social media?
Again, my brother already mentioned you can find me on the Bleeding Carolina Blue podcasts here on YouTube. You can find me on IG at Mr. Carolina. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Carolina. And again, you can find me and my brother again soon on the Anchor app. The app, my name is called, it's called Men of Honor Podcast, where we talk about not only sports, we talk about life, we talk about things that men don't address, on a day-to-day thing. It's barbershop talk that we as men need to get out, or how we feel throughout life, because a lot of times we're not allowed to, express our frustrations and what's going on in life. So the Men of Honor podcast will allow you to do that.
Indeed, indeed. I love it. And of course, continue to like, comment, subscribe.
Mhm.
Blitzball Champ on YouTube, Blitzball Champ on Twitter, with a space in between, and Blitzball Champ on Instagram, lowercase b, lowercase c. And like I said, Mr. Carolina, I know that you just recently joined, but I'm actually looking forward to going through a full season and an off season with you as my
Yes, sir.
co-host. So,
Looking
um,
forward to it, my brother. Looking forward to it.
so in case if y'all are waiting for an official word, bam, there it is.
Cool.
So so look forward to seeing more and more of us together, as well as also on our channels separately. Like I said, support Mr. Carolina, Bleeding Carolina Blue podcast, just like y'all support me. So thank you so much for being a part of this, and I'm looking forward to tons more. Mactown Tony, just checking in. He's at work, but my question is, did we lose a bet? Because those uniforms, OMG. Uh, so Mactown Tony, just for you, we're gonna give a quick recap of the challenges that were made. So the challenge that I made was next season, barring anything crazy, Sam Darnold, if he can hit 20 or more passing touchdowns next season, whether it's at by the end of the season or during the season, whatnot, I will buy a Sam Darnold jersey. And the earlier that he can do it, the earlier that I will purchase it and I will wear it for the rest of the season. And then Mr. Carolina's challenge. So three things. So one, Sam Darnold has to be the official starting quarterback for next season, like set in stone, all of that. Two, the first 5 games, assuming that he's the starter in these 5 games, he has to finish with a record of 500 or higher. And three, by the end of those 5 games, he has to have thrown more touchdowns than interceptions. If all three of those objectives are met, Mr. Carolina, tell them what they win.
What you gentlemen will win is a free ticket to a Panthers game where myself, my brother Jay, and one of our lucky subscribers will get a goal line ticket to go see one of the Panthers games. Free of charge. All you gotta do is show up. I'll buy the food, the drinks. You just show up.
Bam.
Boom. That's it. But he has to do all three.
All three. It can't be 2 out of 3. It can't be 1 out of 3. It has to be all three. So be sure to save this video, keep up with the details, and we'll be sure to keep everybody updated as we get closer and closer so that nobody will lose track. But
Mhm.
those are the challenges. So anyway, thank y'all so much for joining. This has been another Carolina Panthers Talk podcast brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming live here on the U to the Tube. We are your hosts, Blitzball Champ.
Mr. Carolina.
We will see y'all next time. God bless. Have a blessed week. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.
Deuces.